Chairman, unfortunately, this bill has been.
Is your mic on?
Unfortunately, this bill has been a bipartisan bill. As a matter of fact, many of the bills that we did do in the past have been bipartisan bills. And very frankly, in that respect, I think they were better bills. Not only that, but I think they were more likely to be adopted, not only by the Senate, but by the Congress and signed by the President. These bills are not going to go anywhere and are not going to be passed. And there is a disturbing discrepancy, Mr. Chairman, between how this administration praises our veterans and military families and how it actually treats them. Earlier this year, I met with a veteran from my district, Albert Auststerin, who works in cybersecurity. He served in the Air Force back in the 90s. He later spent 6 years as a federal contractor for the Department of Defense, and then 8 years as a civilian employee with the Marine Corps, tasked with supporting critical cybersecurity missions. In 2023, he got promotion work at Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. He helped defend America and our allies from cyber attacks and hacking operations perpetrated by foreign adversaries like Russia. The job wasn't easy. Albert often spent Christmas and other holidays apart from his family while on assignments abroad. In that job, throughout his career, however, Albert consistently exceeded expectations and received outstanding reviews from his superiors. He excelled under both Republican and Democratic administrations. He told me, and I quote him, "Not once would I ask, is this a Republican mission or a Democratic mission? It's an American mission. It's what we need to do." That was his premise and his action. On February 14th, Valentine's Day this year, Albert received an email that he had been terminated for performance issues. That was a lie. That was a ruse. That was a made-up reason for removing him for no cause. Neither he nor his supervisor had been warned in advance. A decade of service, health care for his family, his entire livelihood, all brought to an end with a single email. The rhetoric that we use for veterans was not displayed in that action toward that veteran. Is that really how we want to treat our veterans? Sadly, Albert's story, as so many of you know, is not unique. I'm sure every one of you has heard from somebody in your district about how they received a summarily dismissal without cause, without reason, and without notice. That number will surely grow, given the veterans represent some 30% of our federal workers, whom the Trump administration has deemed villains. You know the quote from Mr. Vogt, who heads up OMB. He wanted them to be perceived as villains, every one of our federal employees. How sad. Trump's plan to fire 80,000 VA employees and privatize medical services for our vets will only increase costs, diminish the quality of care, and reduce access to vital programs. That's why, Mr. Chairman, thousands of veterans took to the National Mall last week to protest this administration. These were not my words. These were not Democratic words. These were people who have fought for our country, displayed valor in battle, committed to America's freedom and democracy, summarily told, "We don't need you anymore." Frankly, they don't want a parade. They want their country to honor its commitment to them, just as they honored their commitment to their country. This bill is another example, Mr. Chairman, of our government falling short of our sacred duty to care for our veterans and military families. It advances the Trump administration's VA overhaul. However, it hurts our military readiness and the quality of life of our service members and military families by underfunding military construction. Therefore, I must oppose this bill and urge a no vote in each and every member who cares deeply about serving our veterans and our country.